Hello, welcome. This is Mark with KM Home Buyers. I'm a local home buying company here in the Tampa Bay area. I do videos from time to time to try to help my new beginner wholesalers, considering this is my third year wholesaling. Today we're going to talk about basically when I get a submission form or a lead form from my website, considering that's about how I get about 85 to 95% of my leads is through my website. So this is my website right here. I don't know if you can see it. And the top bar here is basically a submission form. So I put a lot of my money into my submission form to get this to happen. So let's say I have a budget per day on Google. They go in here and they hit a submission form. So the submission form will look like one of these things, and we'll use an old one. So let's say this is one of the submission forms that we get. And it will have the person's name, address, name, and their phone number there, okay? And then basically what I do is I quickly move it off of the internet and I jump it onto a piece of paper, which is my lead form. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's my lead form, okay? It's basically bedrooms, bath, it's a sub form, or is it a Google form from a call? Because it could be a call from Google, or a submission form, or a bandit sign on the street. And then it's me or Hiram is one of my employees, the dates, the property, and it has a bunch of different information that we need to collect, reference the property. So that's the first thing I do when I get a submission form based on my website or a call. Okay, and once I get that done, then I'm quickly calling back the owner or the person on the deed, and I'm quickly trying to fill out that form. Okay, I'm quickly trying to fill out this form as quick as possible. Okay, this is the form that I'm trying to fill out. I'm filling out all the details. I'm asking them in detail what's going on in the property. I really want to find the age of the roof, not if the roof is good or bad, but the age of the roof and the age of the air conditioner system, and mainly the kitchen and the last time they rehabbed it. Are they the person on the deed? How long they lived there for, and when do they want to leave if we have a beautiful, perfect agreement with each other. Once I find out those forms and we're really qualifying the seller to know if there's motivation to get out, if there's highly end repairs that would need to be done for us to make a small profit, and then what's the property need here. Once that's done, I'm setting an appointment ASAP. The quicker you set the appointment, the quicker you can get the offer. I tell them I would like to set the appointment in within 24 hours, because the sooner I can set the appointment, I tell them I have an offer within 24 hours, and that's really what they want. They want to know that we're there for them and that we're going to get them an offer. If they don't get the appointment because you got gymnastics or whatever going on, then the next people they call, they're gonna set the appointment and they're gonna go out there. We came into a little issue this week where you go out there and there's like 5 other guys out there, and they're all trying to set appointments and they're calling every home wholesaler in the book. I tend to want to be the last guy giving my my properties offer, because I tend to think that they kind of let them believe what the other people's are, and if the guy at the very end can be the highest, then they usually go with them. So it's always a trick. I've always used to be the first one, and it's always not the best one. But so then I go to the submission form. If I do go to the property, which I think is something that most people don't do, and I kind of think it's like this, the little extras. Myself or my employee will make an album before we go out there. So say we got the call today, we're making the photo album. Now we put a little sticker on it with KM Home Buyers. Inside of it, it has a card with our business card in it. This is the sheet that we're going to use for us. This is not for the homeowner or the seller. We usually put this on a clipboard, and we usually put this on a clipboard. And while we're going through the property, we're taking notes on the clipboard. And I usually get pictures once I get there. I knock on the door, I explain who I am, Mark with KM Home Buyers. and I have it just like this. And I say, you mind if we take some pictures? They're like, no, go ahead. A few tricks on the camera. My thing's filming, so it's hard for me, but I always go on to, and I have an iPhone, I go onto the film, take pictures, and I do the enhancement one, which is the second one in. It makes everything very vivid, bright. It really helps your pictures and make sure your lens is clean. Definitely turn your camera horizontal when you're going through the bigger rooms, and maybe vertical when you're in the bathrooms. It makes things a little bit better. But once we go through and we take all the pictures and I fill out this form, and some of this form I have filled out when I talked to him over the phone, and I collected some data on reference to some other sales. I'm also finding some comps on the MLS based on some criteria that we have. So I'm already trying to pull up what houses in that area and what they're selling for. And then when I'm done, we sit in the kitchen and I open this up and I explain to them, this is our license. We just want to let you know we're valid and we're not a BS company. I send them a couple of tax collectors information based off the tax collector's office. And then the seller forms that they'll need from the title company if we go into an agreement, which would be the seller intake forms, the authorization to release their information for their lien, and then the most important form I tell them is how they're going to get paid at the end of closing minus what they owe on the property. Not only that, I think it's also important, and I read people, because some people do want to sign that they were there, and it does happen, but if not, in the back of our agreement, I have a sample sales agreement, which is filled out with their information, with their address, with their legal description, everything but the price. And I tell them, listen, we want you to take some time to review it with the family. Let us know if you need any changes on it. The property will be sold as is. That's very important. And we let them look at this overnight. We try not to ever fill it out with a price on it. We tell them we'll give them a price the next day. And then they have a lot of information sitting in front of them, who the title company is, who we are. I also talk about our Google reviews, which are the #1 Google reviews in Tampa. They can go on our website and click the 5-star reviews there, or they can scroll down and see that we have the most Google reviews in Tampa, which is, I know it's kind of hard to see from where you guys are at. But we think that's really important. I also have links that are set up in my phone for texting. Once they call me, I send them a thank you call link, thank you text that says, thank you for calling KM Home Buyers. We'll see you soon. Please check out our Google reviews by the time we get to your property. And by the time we get there, they've already realized that we have the best Google reviews in the area, and they could trust us already. And to be honest with you, we get a lot from that. Other than that, we'll go through a small, brief scenario on if we do sign the contract. It's going to go to the title company for 3 to 5 to 10 days to do a title and lien search. And then when that comes back, we're free to close. So you want to make them feel comfortable all the way through the process, through talking to them on the phone, to meeting them in person and giving them some data with your company on it, letting them check out your Google reviews, and then explaining them the process in the back end where they have full contact to the title agency, which is, I think, very important. So it's not only about buying them with the highest price. I think that's just a small part of it. I think it's all the little things that add up, especially with the people we're dealing with who are a little older and they want to feel, that they can trust you throughout the process. So if you guys have any questions, please hit me below. If not, I'd like to just get to the meat and potatoes. So if you have any other topics, let me know. This is Mark with KM Home Buyers, Tampa, Florida. Thank you.